Hey y'all! Beating Pokemon Crystal using only one Chikorita put me in triage, so I'm hoping this week Quill be better. Today we're kicking it charcoal school by trying to beat Pokemon Crystal using only one Cyndaquil. And as usual, the rules are I can only use Cyndaquil in battle, and I can't use any trainer items in battle. By the way, if you like this kind of content and want to see more, be sure to subscribe and check out more of the videos on my channel. Cyndaquil is one of the 3 starter Pokemon from the Johto region, and seems to get a lot of love from the fandom over the years. It's the starter of choice for Heart Gold and Soul Silver speedruns, and it even returned as a starter for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Chikorita and Totodile weren't even included in that roster, so I think we know who the favorite is. In terms of the stats and move pool, Cyndaquil seems like it should be pretty decent. The stats are fine, and while the move pool doesn't have much type coverage, fire moves offensively are really good for a large portion of this game. Alright, it's time to see if this Molten Mole is ready to cook, or if it'll fizzle out. Let's do this. Off at Professor Elm's lab, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Cyndaquil with Cyndaquil so that a rival picked the Water-type Totodile. And no, that's not a mistake, I actually did that. Why? Well, just like I mentioned in the Chikorita video, I'm using a patch via the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to separate my save file for this run so I can maintain my childhood save file while doing this challenge. With a pit of fire on its back, Cyndaquil looks like it's ready for a holiday cookout. So I nickname ours Barbaquil. Yep, that's the theme, so if you don't like puns about cooking or barbecue, there's no need to leave a nasty comment, just don't watch. To each their own, after all. I'm just trying to rib my life. Yeah, first and George foremost, we've got to take on the rival Bubs in our first battle. And for starters, Cyndaquil knows just Tackle and Leer. Not a very good moveset, but, you know. Just like we saw when we played with Chikorita, the first rival battle with Bubs is a complete toss-up on who will win. And it really comes down to us eking out a victory thanks to the 10 extra HP we get from our Berry Hold item. Not a very exciting start, but then again, as the kids say, let him cook. Ugh, that one hurt me. After beating Bubs, I head to the Violet City Gym to take on the leader Faulkner and his Flying Freaks. We arrived at level 9, but I cleared out Bellsprout Tower first for the extra levels because of Faulkner's gimmick. You see, Faulkner's lead Pidgey spams the ground move Mudslap, which lowers our accuracy. So, despite Cyndaquil having the decently powerful Ember, it takes forever to beat the birds because we keep missing our moves. We could have fought fire with fire by lowering their accuracy with Smokescreen, but I'd like to think I'm above such deceitful jiggery-pokery. All that matters is at the end of the day, Faulkner's goose is cooked. You know, I tried a little improv and it was pretty terrible. Maybe I'll just drumstick to the script? That's what I get for trying to wing it? Okay, I'm done. Moving on. Now in Azalea Town, I'm ready to take on Bugsy the Bug-type Gym Leader for the Hive Badge. Get ready for the easiest Azalea Town gym battle we've had in recent memory. His Metapod and Kakuna go down easy, as we level up and replace Tackle with Quick Attack, which is nice for picking off weakened foes. And normally, the Scyther is a huge issue for these challenges, but we're a fire type, and we resist Scyther's Fury Cutter. I'm thrilled that Bugsy's bugs got completely smoked by Cyndaquil, since this battle often leaves me feeling quite triggered. Now that we've snubbed Bugsy's grubs, it's time to get the dub against Bubs. This battle was way harder than the former fight with Bugsy, and I had to reset kind of a lot. I have a strategy, but you're not gonna like it. Ghastly usually goes down without much issue, but the Croconaw is another story entirely. It's super bulky and does a ton of damage with Water Gun. So, I have to fly in the face of hypocrisy by spamming Smokescreen to lower its accuracy. And not only that, but I also need to lower its defense with Leer so that Quick Attack will actually do some decent damage. And after, I don't know, a dozen or so resets, I finally rock the Croc, and we've got just enough health left over to finish off the Zubat. Yep, 2 badges in, and I've already resorted to using Smokescreen. Oh boy, I can already tell I'm gonna get grilled in the comments, and it's going to be pro-painful. Next up is the Goldenrod City Gym and the battle with Whitney's Miltank. I already broke the smokescreen seal, so I figure, whatever, time to be a jerkwad. Cyndaquil apparently got the memo too, because it picks up a burn on the Clefairy with Ember to boot. Well, that wasn't very nice. I mean, not that I'm complaining. The burn halves Clefairy's attack, which makes Double Slap do even less, so that's nice. Miltank comes out and Cyndaquil doubles down on being a jerk, getting yet another burn. Unfortunately though, even with the burn reducing damage and smokescreen lowering Miltank's accuracy, we don't have enough gas left in the tank. Don't worry though, this battle might be tough, but we can tenderize to the challenge. At level 27, Cyndaquil has learned the move Flame Wheel. It's a stronger version of the move Ember, and also has the chance for a burn as well. It takes out the Clefairy even faster than before, and then it's time for the tank. Cyndaquil, yet again, gets the burn, but even so, Miltank hits so hard with Stomp and Rollout. Okay, gotta use Smokescreen to make those miss, otherwise, Cyndaquil is gonna need a lot more levels in order to win this one, and I don't think that's gonna be any better than using Smokescreen. Plus, Whitney throws a temper tantrum after we beat her anyways, so it's hard to feel bad for her. Ugh, she is such a brat. Truly the worst. Now it's time to take on the rival Bubs inside the Burnt Tower in Ecruteak City. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to defeat this dastardly whippersnapper at our current level, because I do not want to have to level up anymore. Flame Wheel though, not able to one-hit kill the Haunter, but the good news is that Haunter doesn't use Curse, and instead spites my Beepy. Alright, I'll take it. Croconaw, still a huge issue though, and I have to set up 6 smoke screens and 4 Leers before I'm able to 2-hit KO with Quick Attack. Without smoke screens, I'd have to survive a minimum of 6 water guns au naturel, and that's just not gonna happen. Thankfully though, Cyndaquil has got the luck of the gods, and we take down the Tubby Gator. We're dodging attacks left and right, or as I like to call it, kebab and weave. Next up is a spectral showdown with the Ecruteak City gym leader Morty and his gang of ghoulish ghosts, and this battle, normally pretty annoying, what with the curses and the hypnoses, but Cyndaquil's already kind of a high level, and Flame Wheel does good damage. We get past Morty's lead Ghastly without being cursed, and in fact, this battle seems to fly by without us ever being cursed at all. Between Hypnosis missing and multiple critical hits, Cyndaquil blasts through all of Morty's Pokemon on the very first try. And that's pretty surprising, especially when you remember that this battle is usually a hot mess skeet. Mesquite. Now with the ability to surf outside of battle, I set sail from Olivine City and head to the Sandwood City Gym to take on the fighting type gym leader Chuck. Well, after the easy time we had with Morty, I guess it's only fitting that I got absolutely wrecked by Chuck. His Poliwrath in particular is a problem, because it's got a devastating dynamic punch. And also Surf is super effective, and also Hypnosis puts us to sleep, minor details. And even after spamming Smokescreen to lower its accuracy, Chuck can just use Mind Reader to guarantee that his next move will land. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to win this one. And so maybe I just leave it alone and come back later? I mean, it sounds like a plan. I'm just surprised that Chuck of all trainers is giving us trouble. I guess things are finally getting a little spicy, but don't worry, I'm a seasoned pro. Next up is the Steel-type gym leader Jasmine, and for once, we have a super easy time defeating this ferocious Ferric figure. Her Pokemon are all Steel-types after all, meaning they're weak to Cyndaquil's Flame Wheel. And even the Steelix only takes 2 hits to go down, meaning we only need 4 turns to beat her. So now we can head back across the ocean to get our butts kicked by Chuck. We got that gym badge so fast, and since Jasmine can't beat the heat, you could even call it a fire pit stop. Alright, back at Chuck, and I grabbed an extra level to hit 38, which rounds up extra damage in the calculation because our level ends in either 0, 3, 5, or 8. And this makes Flame Wheel a 2-hit KO on Primeape. And then the Poliwrath comes out. I hit that sassy tadpole with a smokescreen to try to make its moves miss while we whittle it down with Swift. And along the way, I discover a fun little quirk. Mind Reader makes the next move chosen by the user guaranteed to hit, but apparently it does not bypass the game's built-in 25% accuracy reduction for NPC status moves. Yeah, I probably didn't explain that very well, but then again, I'm not here to condiments words. I just want to relish the win. With that out of the way, I can now take on Price, the Ice-type Gym Leader. In this battle, well, it's really not scary, despite Price having 2 water types. And that's because Price's gym is all about ice moves. So maybe that's why none of his Pokemon actually have water moves. We've just got to get through the 2 water types, and then Piloswine is weak to fire. But to start the battle, Seal resists Flame Wheel, so I use Swift to knock it out. But Dugong is also part ice type, so Flame Wheel is neutral against it. We even get a burn to reduce the damage of its headbutt before it uses Rest to heal. And, well, that proved to be a bad strategy, because Rest gives us 2 free turns to attack. So next time you're burned and in need of a barbecue, be sure to grab a first aid brisket. I'm having way too much fun with these jokes. With 7 gym badges in hand, we now have to take on the rival Bubs in the basement underground during the Team Rocket Radio Tower anime arc. And we may already be level 43, but still, this battle isn't easy. Golbat can confuse us, which is annoying enough on its own, but even when it doesn't, we still have to contend with the Feraligatr. It's very bulky, hits pretty hard with Water Gun. So I've definitely got to lower its accuracy with Smokescreen. Yeah, I know what I said. Okay, thank you. Water Gun misses a good amount, but still, we're at such low health by the time we get to the Haunter that it outspeeds and finishes us off with Shadow Ball. Cool. So, can't quite win with our current setup, and I really don't want to level up. Ooh, we could buy vitamins from the Goldenrod City department store, but what am I, marinade of money? No, instead of all that, I decide to teach Cyndaquil Return. Yeah, I know, okay? But it's much stronger than Swift, so this time around, we do more damage to Feraligatr, and therefore, take less damage from Water Gun. Also, apparently we speed tie with the Haunter, because this time around we move first and even burn with Flame Wheel, which actually reduces the damage of Shadow Ball. So, that's pretty cool. And once the Haunter goes down, we one-hit the Sneasel and the Magnemite with Flame Wheel. And so, this battle ended up being a lot easier, just with Return. A single change is all we needed to win. Or as I like to call it, the missing sausage link. Having slid through Ice Path and made it to Blackthorn City, it's now time for the final Johto Gym Leader Claire, the Dragon-type trainer. This is so bad. Her Dragonairs love to spam Thunder Wave, which is incredibly frustrating. And while we can equip a Paralyzed Cure Berry to heal paralysis, it only works once. And on top of that, Kingdra is very bulky, double resists fire, and knows the move Surf. So even with me using Sunny Day to boost our fire moves and also reduce the power of water moves, this battle is just impossible to win. I tried a lot, it's not happening. So, I guess we need to rotisserie think our strategy. No, not really, we just need to level up, actually. So yeah, 10 levels later, and then I finally managed to win this battle, but even then, oh my god, it took so many tries. Oh, with the extra power though, Return often one-kills the Dragonairs, but it still takes multiple hits to get the Kingdra out of commission, and also, this stupid Dragon Jerk keeps spamming Smokescreen to lower our accuracy. I mean, come on, I can't imagine the level of depravity that would have to exist within someone's foul, blackened soul for them to repeatedly spam Smokescreen and still be able to sleep at night? I don't get it. Can you explain it? No? Well, griddle me that. Before we reach the Elite Four, we have to take on the rival Bubs in Victory Road. And unlike the last battle with Bubs, well, this one's actually, really easy. I mean, having 10 extra levels out of nowhere might have something to do with it, but pay that no mind. We're at a higher level, and we've gotten the upgraded Fire Move Flamethrower. With the 50% boost to Flamethrower that Sunny Day gives, we absolutely rock Bubs' team. We even 2-KO the Feraligatr with Flamethrower in the sun, despite it resisting. Well, man, that's pretty cool. Cyndaquil absolutely crushed Bubs here. You could even say we rattled his Cajun. Cyndaquil has made it to the Pokemon League, so here are the stats and moves. If you look at the moveset, you'll see that my strategy is basically Fire Move or Bust. And I'm just hoping to tear through the Elite Four with Sun Boosted Flamethrower, and we've got Return for anything else that resists. And hey, don't pay any attention to that one move, you know, the one at the end that rhymes with Baroque Spleen. Yeah, don't even worry about it. That's not important. What is important is this question, which is, will Cyndaquil be able to defeat the Elite Four? Well, you'll just have to keep watching to fricka see what happens. Up first is the Psychic type Elite Four member Will. I have Cyndaquil holding a Bitterberry to help us set up Sunny Day, just in case Xatu goes for a Confuse Ray. With the sun out, Flamethrower tears through Will's Pokemon, well, except of course for the Slowbro which resists, and it even takes a second one after boosting its special defense with Amnesia. We take a lot of damage overall, but on the whole, Cyndaquil had a really easy time with Will's team. I was a little worried that the last Xatu could knock us out with a quick attack since we were at low health, but he didn't even attempt it, so he kind of just gave up any chance of winning. I guess Will really hibachied the end of that battle. Next up is Koga, the Poison and Bug type Elite Four member. Several members of his team are weak to fire, so this one should be pretty easy. Again, not that I'm complaining, because I'll take whatever breaks I can get. The only concern I actually have about this battle is the fact that Sunny Day only lasts for 5 turns. So for instance, when Muck survives a Flamethrower, we have to use another of our limited Sun turns to knock out the same Pokemon, meaning our Sunny Day will end sooner. And I was hoping to finish this battle without having to set up Sunny Day a second time, but when Crobat survives a base Flamethrower, I know Koga is gonna heal up, so I get to set up a second Sunny Day for free anyways. The Sun Boost lets us knock out the Crobat in a single hit, which is helpful after Crobat raises its evasion with Double Team. Yeah, you know that full thing. And so I guess that's the battle. Oh yeah, and Koga has a Venomoth. Sorry, I didn't mean to forget. I'm sorry. Honestly, Koga, listen, I got a lot on my mind. I've got burger fish to fry, and a stupid psychic flying bug is the grease of my worries. Next up is the Fighting type Elite Four member Bruno, and this battle was pretty easy, but could have been harder if Bruno's lead Hitmontop wasn't such a dolt. Hitmontop uses the 2-turn move Dig, which, well, it is super effective, but it is also kind of weak in this game. So I chip the Hitmontop with Return before it tunnels deep, and then set up Sunny Day on the second turn when, well, I can't hit it anyways. Such a fan of efficiency. And with the sunlight blaring, Flamethrower absolutely wrecks Bruno's entire team. Even the Rock-type Onix, which does resist fire moves, goes down in a single hit. The sun does fade when we reach the Hitmonchan, but that's Bruno's second worst Pokemon, so I won't even give it a second thought. And with that, we defeat Bruno, who before the battle boasted that he would overwhelm us with his superior power. Yeah, right. Fat chance. What a load of marble. I gotta stop talking about food. This challenge is making me hungry. Up next is the Well Done type Elite Four member Karen, and this battle is infamous for being incredibly frustrating, but not so much this time around. Yeah, it turns out that when you've got the sun on your side, you've got it made in the shade. Flamethrower roasts Karen's team way faster than most Karens call the cops on their neighbors if they're having a barbecue, and so think of it this way. If Sunny Day gives a 50% boost to Flamethrower, it's basically the equivalent of Cyndaquil having the special attack stat it would normally have at level 76, when we're level 62. I mean, that's pretty strong. And even Karen's Houndoom is jealous of our firepower. I mean, why wouldn't it be? After all, it's supposed to be the hot dog. Now it's time for the champion battle with the last member, Lance the Dragon Master. And, oh boy, Lance's whole team is just bad news bears for our fire-type Pokemon Cyndaquil. I mean, all of his Pokemon resist fire, and even if they didn't, this battle would still be difficult because of just how strong they are. I managed to get past the Gyarados taking only one attack, through a combination of setting up Sunny Day, which forces it to go for Rain Dance, and also that silly little fourth move that we're not allowed to talk about. But even when I don't get slammed by Aerodactyl's Rock Slide, Lance's other Pokemon's Hyper Beams just do way too much damage to Cyndaquil. I guess you could say Lance put us in a body bag, and I sous vide to come up with a better strategy. You see, because sous vide is where you cook stuff in a bag. It's a joke. Okay, so here's the dry rub, and you know how it goes. We've got to level up, and oh, would you look at that? Level 78, yeah, I'm having a fun time. Oh, boy. It's the second time in this challenge, by the way, that I've had to grind 10 levels or more. And don't forget that the higher level you get, the more experience is required to level up. Huzzah! I love that. Okay, so at this point, we're strong enough usually to 2-hit KO each of Lance's Pokemon with Return, and we've got a Paralyzed Cure Berry equipped to help deal with the Thunder Wave paralysis. Because we can only prevent paralysis once per battle, and Lance has 2 Thunder Wave spamming Dragonites, this battle took dozens of resets thanks to full paralysis cutting the rug right under us as we're about to win. And it's so frustrating, and I gotta be honest, there's no way this is a coincidence. The game is definitely conspiring against us. And at the risk of sounding a little loony, I'm gonna say it. This has got to be the work of the Grilluminati, which is not to be confused with Barbecuanon. And with Lance defeated, we have finally conquered the Pokemon League, and Cyndaquil has made it into the Hall of Fame. But you know it's not quite over just yet. I'm always going to consider beating the final trainer Red as the true Kielbasa to run. Unless, of course, a Pokemon is just impossibly bad. I set sail upon the SS Aqua to head over to Kanto to take on their 8 gym leaders and acquire all 16 badges to earn the right to challenge Red atop Mount Silver. I got through most of the Kanto gym leaders without any real trouble, so now it's time to take on the final Kanto gym leader, Blue. And I would have expected Blue to be way harder to beat. Well, had we beat Lance at a lower level. I mean, honestly, since we're already at such a high level, it's completely trivial. But wait, what? Hold on, how's that possible? Trivial? Lance's team is like 20 levels lower. Yeah, well the big difference is that Blue's team doesn't resist fire. Well, except for the Rhydon, but that's a big heckin' hunk of chunky monkey, which has terrible special defense. And yeah, also the Gyarados, but even it isn't a huge deal for our little rodent. So, considering Blue wasn't a big deal, I can't imagine the last trainer is going to be much harder, right? I mean, come on. What's the whoosh to sure that could happen? Speaking of which, with all 16 badges in hand, it's time to take on the final trainer Red atop Mount Silver. So, oh boy, here we go. And as you can imagine, Cyndaquil fell flat on its face here. Red's Pikachu's not a huge problem, but the Espeon can hit us for half of our health with Psychic, and also it sets up Reflect, which halves the damage of our return. And this becomes a huge problem when the Blastoise comes out, and now I'm forced to fight it with Flamethrower, which it resists. And so, yeah, as you can imagine, this does not go well. But honestly, did anybody actually expect us to be able to beat Red at this level? Oh, great. Well, now I'm not sure we can even beat Red at all. I guess I'll need to muster up some courage, you know, to overcome these seeds of doubt. Alright, if you're not getting these puns, I'm gonna need you to catch up. After 5 extra levels and even more attempts, I finally managed to brute force our way past the Blastoise while keeping the majority of our health intact. This is helped in part due to the logic of the game, which prioritizes setting up weather, so when Blastoise sets up Rain Dance, we can set up Sunny Day, and go back and forth, etc. When the Snorlax comes out, I rush to knock it out before it boosts its special defense with Amnesia, but I'm too little too late, barely missing the knockout as it heals back up with Rest. And at this point, listen, I'm not proud of this, but I decide to go full Voldemort on Snorlax by spamming Smokescreen. And once it wakes up, Snorlax misses multiple body slams, but the ones that hit, well, they hurt quite a lot. We don't get paralyzed, thankfully, and Leftovers is helping to keep our health intact as we manage to finally take down the Snorlax. But we're pretty low on health though, so it's a good thing that Red's last 2 Pokemon are Charizard and Venusaur. We resist Charizard's Flamethrower, and Venusaur is weak to fire, so we're finally able to finish the battle. But, I mean, wow, we almost got knocked out there. That was too close for comfort food. And with that, the challenge is over. Cyndaquil was definitely better than Chikorita, but still not super great. Unlike Chikorita though, at no point did I ever feel like this run was cook out of control. And since Chikorita was able to finish the run, I guess I was never really worried about Cyndaquil beating Red. So, it might seem anticlimactic, but don't worry, I've got some runs planned in the future that are sure to raise the stakes. As always, I want to thank you for making it to the end of this video. These videos are a lot of fun, but also a lot of work. Obviously, I can't just copy and paste them, so I really do appreciate it. There's a playlist on my channel where you can find the rest of my Pokemon Challenge videos if you want to check those out as well. And if you like this kind of content and want to see more, be sure to subscribe and enable notifications so you'll know right away the next time one of these episodes is uploaded. And if you want early access to these videos and to have your name listed in the credits, consider becoming a member or joining on Patreon. And if you have a Pokemon you want to see, let me know in the comments and I'll probably do it. Next week, I'll be finishing the Johto starters by trying to beat Pokemon Crystal using only one Totodile. For now, thanks for the memories, and until next time,